Where we last left off, the party was... I look forward to seeing how you play this out.
20,000.
And before anyone can so much as raise a hand to stop him, he draws his dagger and decapitates the captain of the Royal Guard.
Boss room.
Yeah, that's a boss room.
I am Brunhilde, the volcanic queen! Thank you, my friend. May we meet again someday, and may you stay safe until then. Goodbye. Finally, defeating Brunhilde.
Wow, I've lost literally everything. Playing Ranger sucks. Is there any way I can pick a new class?
Sure, I can help with that. Oh no, Ranger, there's a knife in your neck. It's mine. I'm killing you. I got a 1257 to hit and my damage 11,957.
Oh, that'll do it.
Why did you kill him, though?
Because I wanted to, he looked sad, and most importantly, because you wouldn't be able to stop me.
I generally don't condone in-party fighting, but that does open up the possibility of rolling up a new character. I would have recommended something more, tame, like retirement, but this does work. Let's avoid killing off each other in the future, alright? Anyway, while our ex-ranger figures out what they want to play for the new character, the party travels back to town where you all came from, and you come across several wanted posters with your faces posted up on trees. You realize that killing the captain of the guard has had some unforeseen consequences, specifically in the warrant for y'all's arrest. With dozens of guards at every posting, it becomes apparent that you ought to be in search for a stealthier way into town. You spot a nearby tavern and opt to check it out. Once in the tavern, you spot a questionable looking figure who stands out. A scrawny young man with spiky red hair, orange-yellow eyes, donning a black trench coat, and more notably, a scaly left arm covered in dull red scales, as well as a long tail of the same color. Before you can say anything, the figure spots you and gestures for you to come over and sit at their table.
You two, you look like you've seen some stuff. Some dark, messed up stuff. Do you know anything about the criminal organization, the Syndicate?
The what?
No.
The Syndicate. They're a group that performs dark experiments on people to create beings of immense power. I'm Aldred, and they've ruined my life by fusing me with a dragon and killed my entire family.
Oh, that's sad?
I'm listening.
They've got agents all across Alberia, and I've got a feeling their depravity may even reach into the royal family.
As the three of you are talking, you all notice a female figure approach you. A slender young lady with long, flowing, dark pink hair and orange eyes, sporting a gold and red breastplate in tandem with an eloquent cloak that is matted purple on the outside and a vibrant red on the inside. Atop her head protrudes a pair of unmistakable draconic horns, and trailing behind her out from underneath the cloak slides a red tail. Without a moment of hesitation, and snatching up an unoccupied chair, the figure invites herself into the conversation and your table.
Now, did I hear someone mention the royal family, about being wanted by them?
Who are you? Are you another Syndicate experiment sent to kill me?
Why, me? I would do no such thing. Well, unless Senpai demanded it. I happen to be a very prestigious and powerful dragon by the name of Mim, who is very close with the royal family. Now, let us get back to the conversation at hand. What were y'all saying about my favorite family?
I heard something about dark magic and power and such. You mind extrapolating a bit on that real quick?
Yeah, it's possible the royal family is dabbling in dark powers, and you could definitely be an assassin, girl.
How would one go about
I'm not done laughing! Nope.
How would one go about dabbling in the dark arts?
Forget about the arts for a moment and let us discuss wanting by the royal family.
As you rabbit trail off on the science of how one goes about dabbing in the dark arts, yet another equally unique figure bounds their way up to your growing party. A tall and thin young man with lush purple hair and soft yellow eyes, wearing a white undershirt layered with an earthy brown vest and matching boots, sporting a sleeved dark blue wizard's cloak ordained with brass clasps draped across his shoulders. Across his chest is a black messenger bag, and across his back an arcane staff that appears to be modeled after a magnifying glass. In one hand, a large book. In the other, a pen.
Hello, fellow misfits. While totally not eavesdropping, I couldn't help but notice you seemed to be on an incredible quest. Go against all odds. Would you mind if I joined you and documented our travels? I'm writing a book, you see.
Would it so happen to be a dark tome?
It better not be.
And write the blossoming love story between Senpai and I?
I'm confident that it isn't. Probably. Anyway, my name is Norwin. How about I treat you all to some lunch, and you can tell me all about your incredible adventures you've surely had.
I'll never turn down free food.
Norwin borrows a chair from a different table and seats himself down with the rest of you. Raising his hand into the air, Norwin calls one of the barmaids over and orders the tavern special. As the barmaid leaves, a strange ruckus originates from the kitchen doors and envelops into the commons as a small, yellowish-green, plant-like creature jogs out of the kitchen, across the tavern hall, on over to your table, and interrupts all of your conversation by climbing into the middle of your table. It enthusiastically throws its tiny yellow hands into the air with an expression of pure joy, as if to wordlessly say, "Ta-da!" Then bounds over to Norwin, where it immediately lays face down in front of the bard.
This is new. A meal that walks towards you. I like it.
What is this creature?
It looks kind of edible.
Cut off its head and boil it, maybe?
It could be another experiment by the Syndicate. Tell me, where are they?
Raising its face off from the table, the small vegetable-looking creature exclaims, "Pipple!" as if in response to your question.
No, dinner.
You surmise it is the creature's name. That or it's the only word it knows. Norwin picks up the pipple, examining it from all sides. As you ponder over the possible walking dinner, two chefs barge out of the kitchen doors in a slight panic. A young man with long, straight silver hair in a sharp black double-breasted suit with a white apron tied around his waist, and a young woman with short black hair adorned with a blue bow and a white and black dress-like apron. They swiftly scan the room, and as soon as they see the pipple creature, they make a beeline for your table. The male chef speaks first. "I'm terribly sorry for this mishap. I'm Chef Valerio, and I'm afraid we will need that vegetable there back." "And I'm Chef Mitsuba, and it is the main ingredient for our newest recipe. We are turning it into a stew." Chef Valerio lets out a short snort before giving his coworker a side-eye. Chef Mitsuba returns the side-eye with equal intensity. Tension between the two of them is evident. You have become inadvertently involved in a heated cooking debate. "What you mean to say is that we are going to sauté it." "No, sautéing it would leave it shriveled and too chewy. It would be far better left to slow cook in a stew. It would fall apart and there would be nothing left of it to eat. A stew would dissolve it into little more than mush. We should at very least grill it. And char the tender outside? Do you want our customers to chew on burnt food? You would, at bare minimum, put it into a stir-fry." The two chefs seem to get lost in their argument, gesturing dramatically between the vegetable creature, which remains held by the bard, and each other. You sense the exhausting glares of the barmaids and the tavern owner. It's clear this is not the first disagreement these two have had, or how the walking vegetable escaped in the first place.
Well, our dinner would never be treated in such a way at the palace. Dinner stays in the kitchen until it is served by the staff. I would never let Senpai see such a disgrace.
This pipple creature is an abomination of nature. We should lead it to a swift end. And if we eat it afterwards, so be it. I don't care how it's cooked.
I don't know if we should be so rash. It's kind of cute. I think we should keep it.
As you deliberate over the fate of your newfound vegetable, the doors to the tavern are slammed wide open. Sunlight pours into the room as the silhouettes of several royal guards outline the doorway. They promptly walk inside and scan the room. One spots you and points at your party, one hand clutching his spear with white knuckle intensity. The other guards draw their weapons and advance on your party. Tavern patrons quickly scatter out of their way as they do. They quickly surround your table, weapons aimed at you. The one you presume to be in charge of the group speaks up. "In the name of the Royal Highness, you are all under arrest. You have been charged with the murder of the captain of the Royal Guard, Leaf, the false advertisement as mercenaries, and causing multiple public disturbances. You have the right to remain silent, though I doubt you could say anything to make your case any worse than it is."
Thank goodness you're here, officers. I've got the suspect right here. I hold up Pipple.
Take me.
Don't look at me. I only kill people who deserve it.
Don't look at me either. I've never seen these people in my life.
Don't look at me. I've never killed anyone in my life. Okay, not even I believe that.
Yes, Senpai won't be able to refuse this time.
You know what? I'll surrender peacefully if you grant me an audience with the royal family. I have some questions for them.
Certainly. The royals could make for some interesting story material.
I have no feelings.
The guards are clearly a little surprised by this response. They were clearly ready to take you in by force. The one you presume to be the guard in charge gives a nod to the rest, and they gesture with their weapons for you to get up and follow them. Still holding the pipple, Norwin rises with the others, carrying it out with him. The two chefs remain locked in heated debate, seemingly indifferent to the events that just transpired.
Time skip.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Where's the food pun?
You spend the next hour slowly walking through the town. As you do, passerbyers eye you with contempt, anger, fear, and confusion. Sneers and insults are hurled at you. Parents hide their children away, and the elderly shake their heads in disappointment. As you climb the front stairs of the palace, the guards stationed around you grow visibly tense as you pass them by, some with fear and others with anger. You arrive in the main audience chamber and throne room of the palace shortly thereafter. Standing at the head of the room is the king himself, King Aurelius. To either side of him stand his progeny, 6 princes and 2 princesses. The guards are spread out around the room, keeping an ever watchful eye on you. The lot of you are led to the landing before the throne. Standing before you, the king, who eyes you with what feels like a mix of contempt and sorrow. You can feel the uneasy tension that permeates the silence. After a few quiet moments, the king speaks.
I have borne witness to many things in my time. I have ruled through times of peace and prosperity, and ruled through times of hardness and tragedy. I have always tried to rule with honor, to treat all of my subjects, rich and poor, on equal grounds. I have been blessed with easy decisions, and cursed with difficult ones. I understand the weight of bearing the crown, and the stress that such burdens bring with it. But in all my years, I have never invited such a dishonorable band of liars, murderers, and usurpers into my home. Captain Leaf was a good man, one who served his country proudly and faithfully, a man you cut down. My many years as king have left me with a wealth of hard-earned wisdom, yet I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why you did that. But I suppose the time for deliberation has passed. You have made it abundantly clear that it is the time for action. You are hereby accused of murder. Do you have anything to say for yourselves? Any defense you wish to bring forth?
Meta-knowledge. This is your chance as party members to defend yourselves before the king.
Look, I haven't killed anyone who wasn't in the syndicate. If anything, I've been doing this kingdom a favor.
The what?
I've been framed. It was a doppelganger.
There's more of you?
Oh, senpai!
First of all, I never specified that it was you in particular. As such, your immediate rebuttal in your defense all but confirms that you did, in fact, do it. Secondly, there were over a dozen eyewitnesses, all of which attested to you committing the murder. Thirdly, a common shapeshifter doesn't inherit any of the powers or skills when they mimic your appearance, so there is no way that such a being could pull off what you did, let alone so quickly.
Choke on your own crown. It wasn't me, and everyone else here is totally innocent.
Well, with that compelling defense for your case, I'll go ahead and roll to see who sees through your obvious lie and if it has any effect on them, if really at all. Okay, well, almost everyone sees through your blatant lie. Almost everyone.
The claim of innocence without the basis of evidence fails to dismantle the accusation mounted against you.
Suddenly, release these men at once! The younger princess butts in, cutting off her father mid-speech. The king, his sons, his other daughter, and the guards all stare at the younger princess in confusion and surprise. Meta-knowledge, she crit failed to see through your deception, and for some God only knows reason, she believes you.
Belay that order! My daughter, what is the meaning of this?
Father, can't you see? These men are innocent. They have been wrongfully accused of this horrendous crime they didn't commit. I know not what deception has been pulled over our eyes, or who killed our beloved Captain Leaf, but I know that in my heart of hearts that it was not these men. What we are doing here is not justice, it's justification. We have done little more than chosen a likely group of individuals upon whom we wish to take out our pain and sorrow, punishing them for what we have lost because we cannot punish those who are truly guilty. I will not stand here idly by and watch you soil your hands with this wrongdoing, Father. You must trust me, Father. Guards, release these men immediately! The guards stand at the ready, poised but unmoving, clearly uncertain what to do. They look between their princess and their king, waiting to see whose orders they are to follow.
Well, that was unexpected.
Amid the kerfuffle and chaos, it becomes evident that a well-placed word could swing the tide of this conversation one way or the other. Everyone roll initiative to determine who gets to speak or act first.
14.
15.
3,502.
13.
16.
Alright, time for my signature technique. Sneaking and killing.
Roll me stealth.
3,700.
Roll to hit, you have advantage.
3,804 and 3,892.
You effortlessly slit the throat of one of the guards as he was wholly distracted by the royal drama. A quick rummaging through his pockets, you find 2,000 rupees. Toast, you're up.
You know, Lady Chell, if you could pardon me and my friends here, we could go out for a couple of drinks later, and I could maybe write you into the story.
Roll me persuasion.
Not 20!
Norwin, applying his knowledge of royal etiquette and overall charm, boldly steps forward and takes a graceful bow, while simultaneously taking Princess Chell's hand in his own and placing a delicate kiss on the back of her hand. Princess Chell blushes a bright red, taken aback by your brave forwardness in such a moment. She opens her mouth to protest, but then glances over to see her father and sister still arguing, and you can see what little commitment she has to this undignified situation be tossed to the wayside. She gives you a quick look over, as if really looking you over for the first time, taking in your slender appearance, sharp attire, and charm. She sighs with a smile, firmly takes your hand in hers.
I confidently swagger up to the royal family, particularly Yuden. Why, hello, senpai and family. I roll to seduce.
Alright. Roll me persuasion, or performance, depending on how you want to do this. Your choice.
Performance, because why would I need to persuade someone of the truth of love before their eyes? The 19.
Congratulations, you managed to roll just high enough to avoid the, well, this will be extremely awkward, range of numbers. You confidently stride up to, you confidently swagger up to Prince Yuden. You eloquently brush past the guards, and stopping next to Prince Yuden, you strike a confident pose and give him a friendly wave. Despite being in conversation with 3 others, Prince Yuden notices you immediately. He turns to ask who you are, but as he does, he is rendered momentarily speechless at the sight of you, his cheeks flushing slightly red. You don't know if it was your confidence or your appearance that has robbed him of his words.
Enough of this noble charade. I have it on good information that this family is working with a syndicate, and I demand to know who.
Aldrin calls out to the royal family, but his cry falls on deaf ears. The royal family is too enraptured into the chaos to pay him any heed. All of them, that is, save for one. Prince Fares turns his head at the mention of the syndicate and looks directly at Aldred. A wicked smile spreads across his face, and he lets out a soft chuckle as he turns to face Aldred. My, look what fate dragged in. If it isn't the failure of a lab rat, Aldred. I almost didn't recognize you there. I would have thought you would have died off by now. Congratulations on exceeding all our expectations. Prince Fares steps away from his arguing family, who do not notice him doing so, and slowly begins walking towards Aldred. This is unexpected, but not unwelcomingly so. You see, I pride myself on being right, and being one of the authoritative figures within the Syndicate's command. If they knew you were still alive, it would have reflected poorly on me. But you brought yourself right to me, and delivered yourself into my hands, just like the obedient lab rat you are. I suppose I should thank you, really. Oh, but don't worry. We didn't have any trouble replacing you. No, quite the opposite. Prince Fares turns to the chaos and snaps his fingers. As he does, Fares' younger brother, Baron, stands to attention and walks over, almost robot-like, stopping next to Fares. Fares grins wildly, like an unhinged hyena cornering its prey. You see, where you failed, we learned. And from your miserable failure, we were able to perfect the process. Dear sweet Baron here took to our experiments like the loyal dog he is. And he's become more powerful than you could ever hope to imagine.
Experiments, huh? Could you maybe by chance point me in the direction of a dark tome?
Well, not what I had in mind for in-laws, but anything for you, senpai.
Prince Faris seems to ignore your commentary altogether while launching into a lengthy monologue. You see, poor Aldred, although you might have run away, we still learned much from your failure. We were able to perfect the ritual, and now our experiments are a success.
My bloodlust has yet to be slaked. I'm going to kill more.
Roll me a perception check.
Perception? Okay. 4168.
As you effortlessly take out another unsuspecting guard, you notice the chaotic situation unfolding before you, and how it's growing. Prince Faris is monologuing at length about twisted science experiments and magic rituals like a villain. The royal family is still neck-deep in debate, and Norman is actively seducing Princess Chell. It occurs to you that the situation is becoming rather heated, and will probably reach a boiling point all too soon. Your instincts tell you that it would be best if you, and your associates, leave.
Alright, as much as I want to sit back and watch this explode, I sneak over to Princess Chell. Can you help us escape?
Roll me a persuasion.
Alright. 4434.
I should have guessed. Princess Chell takes a look around the room and lets out an exasperated sigh. Screw it. I was never going to inherit the throne anyway. Might as well cut my losses. Princess Chell smiles mischievously, like a girl sneaking out past bedtime, and pulling her hand away from Norwin, she gleefully lifts a small part of her flowing dress and pulls out a large, flowery pink and white purse. Before anyone has any time to say anything, she hoists the purse up with both hands and gives the handle strap a firm tug and pulls it back. There's a mechanical click sound, and the sides of the large purse slide down, and the barrel of a minigun extends outwards. The backside of the purse folds inwards, and a circular ammo drum drops down. The purse's handle split, one half extends forward as Princess Chell grasps both halves. Pivoting the device on her hip, she levels the weapon at the royal chaos. She turns to Norwin with a smile. They're all the rage in Chanzelia. She winks and turns back to face her family. It's Coronation Day, you! Princess Chell's words are lost in the deafening noise as she squeezes the trigger of the purse minigun, unleashing a torrent of death. Bullets fly 100 a second, ammo shells spewing to the sides like confetti on a clown's birthday. She pivots the weapon on her hips, sweeping across the room. No one has any time to react. In seconds, the royal guards are plastered with bullets and drop dead where they stood. King Aurelius tries to shield his daughter Zethia to no avail as bullets pierce his cape and pepper him and Princess Zelia with holes. The two drop dead, royal attire soaking in blood. Leonidas, firstborn and heir to the throne, can do nothing but gasp in shock as the wave of bullets passes over him, killing him instantly. Prince Valix and Prince Emilia have just enough time to scream before they too suffer the same fate. Prince Faris turns at their screams to see the onslaught of death sweeping towards him. No, what are you? Prince Faris' words are cut short as his body jiggles violently with bullet wounds, then drops lifelessly to the floor. Only Baron reacts in time, extending his hands outward and to project a shield of clearly dark energy, the bullets bouncing off of it harmlessly. Yudin, pulled aside by Mim earlier before, was the only one out of harm's way. As quickly as it started, the rain of bullets ends.
Yes, a mighty blow to the leadership of the Syndicate.
No, you almost shot Senpai. I pull Yuden close to me, wrapping my tail around him protectively.
I see.
This one's gonna be a pain to illustrate.
Baron, eyes fixated on the dead body of Prince Faris, trembles with rage. You've killed my brother. You murdered him. He made me powerful. He was gonna make me more powerful, you rotten, vile, pathetic, worthless scum. I vow to this day I will see all of you in ruins. I will.
No, I vow here and now that I'm going to kill you and the rest of the Syndicate.
Prince Yudin, clearly still in shock, pushes away from Mim. And I vow that I will bring you all to justice.
And I vow to you, Senpai, to you, Yuden, take me, Mim, to be your lawfully wedded wife.
Wait, what?
I vow to kill more people and steal as much money from you fools as I can get away with. And that's a lot.
I say we take our leave and head out those big doors.
Miss Chell, we're about to make our heroic escape. Could you make a distraction to cover us?
With a quick flick of the handle, the minigun swiftly transforms back into its normal-looking, if not be it large, purse. She daintily takes Norwin's hand and nods in agreement. The party makes their timely exit from the building and towards the exit of the castle. Guards come rushing, and Chell tactfully directs them to the police to, quote, investigate the tragedy there. Any guards that stop to question you are confronted by Chell, who threatens to report them to the king for their distrust in her. The party escapes.
Time skip.
Ba-na-na-na. You have put some distance between yourselves and the palace. Now you wander the streets of Sol Alberia. The bustling people are still blissfully unaware of what has transpired. It is only a matter of time before news reaches them, but until then, all is normal.
So, now that that's all behind us, where are we going next?
There's a church nearby. We could ask them for a roof to lay under.
Oh yes, the perfect place to finish our vows, right, Senpai?
Would someone please explain what she keeps going on about? The church in question is the Elysium Cathedral, an impressive structure and a holy place. As you subtly slip into the building, careful not to draw any attention to yourselves, you walk into the cathedral's main sanctuary. A cursory glance around finds the large room quite empty. However, your quiet moment is swiftly interrupted. 5 cloaked individuals drop down from the ceiling, landing around your party in a circle. Greetings! My name is Basilius of the Apostles, and these are my faithful followers, Nevin, Pinon, Faris, and Rosarda. I'd usually ask for your names, but I already know them, so I'll just skip to the point. Get 'em!
I've had enough of these dudes. Your names are too long and confusing.
The Apostles get an ambush round. Everyone roll initiative. You'll go the next round.
What?
Talking is a free action. They get their dramatic entrance and their ambush round. Now roll initiative.
Okay, fair. 72-19.
8.
17.
19.
That would be a 12.
Nevin summons a shining single zone in the center of the cathedral, bolstering his allies' strength with a modified enhance ability spell. Rosarda casts an empowered heroism spell, granting 300 health points to all of her allies. Pinon leaps back into the rafters and unleashes a flurry of arrows down on the party. Everyone roll dexterity saving throws.
Do I even need to roll for this?
Technically, yes. The rogue dodges with evasion, the bard and the fighter both take 386 piercing damage, and the paladin and the dragon take half that. Faris pulls out a pistol from behind his cloak and shoots at the rogue. He misses. Basilius conjures a noxious green cloud with his hand before blowing the vile green smoke into the party, casting Cloud Kill. Everyone roll me another dexterity saving throw.
Are you sure I have to roll for this?
Yes, roll.
Alright.
The rogue, again, dodges with evasion. The fighter takes 1,293 poison damage, and everyone else takes half of that. This is the ambush round. Now, with your rolls, the turn order is the Rogue, Aldred, Norwin, Apostle Faris, Apostle Pinon, Mim, Apostle Nevin, the Paladin, Apostle Rosarda, Apostle Basilius, and the 2 party NPCs. Rogue, you are up first.
I throw a knife at Basilius, because that usually works.
Your knife flies straight and true, landing directly in Apostle Basilius's head. He drops down into the cold cathedral floor with a loud thunk. Aldrin, you're up.
Wait, hang on, I never rolled.
Yeah.
I speak as a free action to demand to know where the Syndicate is.
Apostle Nevin turns to you. You are not entitled to any information right now, nor are you in a position to negotiate for it.
Fine, I attack Nevin.
Aldred charges forward and swipes at Apostle Nevin with his draconic claws. Claws meet sword steel and sparks fly. Aldred lands a few swipes, drawing blood. Norwin, you're up.
Showing him a blank, yet telling image from one of my picture books, I'd like to cast Blindness on Faris.
Faris fails his saving throw and is blinded. He stumbles back, trying to regain focus after staring at a truly horrifying drawing. He levels a shaky pistol at the rogue and critically misses. He accidentally shoots Apostle Pinon. Ouch. Apostle Pinon reels from the attack, but remains focused, letting several arrows loose at the fighter. And misses. And misses again. Do my dice not like me right now? You're supposed to be killing them. Right. Mim, you're up.
None of you deserve to officiate this wedding. I use fire breath to attack the group.
The dragon stands tall, her throat and mouth glowing a bright red for a moment before she leans forward and unleashes a torrent of flames. Apostle Faris, Pinon, Nevin, along with the bard and the paladin, all need to make me dexterity saving throws. Everyone fails and takes 628 fire damage each. It is now Apostle Nevin's turn, who lunges at the dragon Mim with his enchanted dagger. He lands his attack, dealing 492 force damage. Paladin, you're up.
I'm gonna pray to anyone listening. May Ilya or the Dark Powers aid us now. Nat 20!
You offer up a word of prayer to the higher powers, and although you can feel your words call out faithful and true, nothing responds.
God of thieves, murderers, and serial killers, or whatever. Help?
Just then, a middle-aged woman walks into the room. Her long white hair matches her white lab coat, contrasted against black shirt and long armored black leggings. Holstered across her shoulder, she carries a massive futuristic pulse rifle. Not that any of your characters know what that is. I am Elysia, and I heard you the first time. From above you in the rafters, red-faced and angry, Apostle Pinon points an accusatory finger at Elysia. Heretic! How dare you make such blasphemous claims? We will slay you where you stand for such sacrilegious words. As Apostle Pinon notches an arrow and draws her bow at Elysia, Elysia is faster. In a heartbeat, she swings the pulse rifle around and levels it at Apostle Pinon and activates her weapon's Drive Buster. A flash of radiant blue light instantly crosses the room and annihilates Apostle Pinon in a blast of radiant damage. Apostle Pinon falls from the rafters, crashing into the wooden pews below in a shower of splinters and a loud crash. Elysia hoists the pulse rifle back onto her shoulders. She blows the hair out of her face. Anyone else a non-believer? The room is silent as everyone's locked in combat has momentarily paused to see what Elysia will do. Elysia scans the room, then locks eyes with the paladin. You! Here! Take this! Elysia pulls out a hexagonal plate-looking device and hurtles it towards you like a frisbee. As soon as it hits you, it instantly magnetizes to your armor. The device hums to life with radiant blue energy, and you can feel it empowering your divine magic. Paladin, you have now gained a significant buff to your team's defensive abilities, allowing them to be cast with greater frequency and at higher levels too. This should help level out the players in the party. Since the rogue keeps rolling high, the dragon in the party seems to have the power of love on her side. The bard keeps swooning people, and the fighter seems to be doing just fine.
It's about time.
Neat.
Man, I didn't think that was gonna work.
Now, if you are all quite done standing around like a group of headless chickens, I suggest you skip town and scratch your adventuring itch elsewhere, preferably somewhere far away, like the northern continent.
Yeah, let's dip. This kingdom blows.
As we leave, I turn back to the remaining 3 apostles and cast magic missile. And that's 40,472 each.
The 3 magic bolts fly fast and true, each striking the 3 remaining apostles and killing them. They are knocked back and collapsed onto the cold stone floor, where they lie with their dead brethren. You waste no time in quickly heading for the exit of town, leaving Yudin and Princess Chell with Elysia.
I shall return, my senpai, with the treasures of my journey.
Would you guys believe me if I said this was the first time I've left dead bodies in a church?
No, actually I wouldn't.
Fair.
Time skip! You stand just outside the city's outer walls, the walls of the city behind you, along with all the chaos you unleashed. Ahead of you, the forest and a dirt road that winds through it. What would you all like to do now?
Maybe we should seek out the twins of the dragon.
I think we
mentioned
should
earlier?
hunt monsters.
Wait.
Why?
What? Why?
Why?
Well, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter Rise recently, and it's a lot of fun. Also, we could get some glory and some rupees for our efforts.
Glory and... sure.
I suppose it would be a good chance for me to hunt for a prize for my senpai.
Sure, nothing else, it would be quite the gripping tale.
Alrighty. Not what I expected to have at this point, but why not? Everyone give me a perception check, or a survival check. Your choices. Let's see if you can find a monster to hunt.
I'm proficient in hunting down members of the Syndicate. 23.
Well, dragons are known for their excellent sense of smell. 14.
Step back, rookies, I've got this. 11,834. What do I find? Gimme.
After investigating the area, about an hour later, you find the telltale signs of a large creature passing through the area not long ago.
Ooh, is this a Rathalos? I bet it's a Rathalos.
I'll roll for it. The party follows the tracks of this large, unknown monster. Till about 10 minutes of quick tracking, you come upon a large open field. In it is a sizable herd of cattle, which is currently running around in a mooing panic as a massive Rathalos tears a cow carcass apart, feasting on its tender insides.
Oh, the poor moo-moo. I would like some too.
The Rathalos notices you, and it lets out a deafening roar as it spreads out its wings. Everyone roll initiative.
16.
3.
2.
7.
Rathalos gets a 19.
I've got an idea. I'll just go last, see how the rest of you do.
The Rathalos goes first. It charges forward, and although you think it's going to attack you head on, it suddenly leaps into the air. Flapping its powerful wings, it rises into the sky above you. As you gaze upward at it, there's a brief flicker of sparks before the Rathalos unleashes a pillar of searing hot flames down upon you all. Everyone make me a dexterity saving throw. Everyone, minus the Bard, passes the save. Bard, you take 1,284 damage, while everyone else takes half of that for 642. Paladin, it is now your turn.
I want to smite it. That's 23 to hit for 353 damage, plus 724 smite damage.
Radiant light leaps from the heavens in tandem with your attack, and as you strike the Rathalos, so does the radiant light. The creature roars in pain and anger, and it dives down and crashes in front of your party. Mim, you are up.
This is a dragon, right? So it must be draconic. It must have some class for diplomacy. Perhaps I can convince it not to attack us and share some of that delicious-smelling moo meat.
All right, make me a persuasion check.
12.
You try talking to the angry Rathalos, but to no avail. You regrettably remember that not all members of the Draconic family line are able to communicate in an intelligent manner, regardless of whether or not you can speak Draconic. Additionally, the Rathalos is rather angry at the moment. You doubt it would have been up for diplomacy either way. Bard, it is now your turn.
Alright, I'll attack it with my bow. It's a 19 to hit.
Roll damage.
819. I'd also like to inspire our fighter as a bonus action.
Wait, doesn't your art blind people?
It really all depends on how they interpret it.
Alrighty, I'll let you figure out that part. In the meantime, fighter, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna use my special race ability, Dragon Drive, and go into multi-attack. That's, 16 and 11 to hit.
The first attack hits, striking the Rathalos in a weak spot between the scales. The second attack bounces off the creature harmlessly.
I'll use that inspiration on the second one to raise it. 14.
Although you try to will yourself to strike fair and true, you still fail to land an attack that draws blood. Go ahead and roll me damage for the first attack.
2,145.
Alrighty. The cows in the area spend their turn running around in a panic and don't really help with combat. It is now the rogue's turn, if they would like to do something.
I throw a knife. You all had your chance. Let a pro work.
With a loud howl, the Rathalos collapses to the ground with a tremendous thud, sending dirt and grass flying. The rogue effortlessly slides down from the Rathalos' now dead neck and hops onto the ground. The cows continue to panic. You surmise it will take time before they calm down.
Wait, I didn't get to fully utilize my Dragon Drive.
And the fighting trampled my snack. Now I have to prepare one for myself and my senpai.
Ow, those sound like you problems. I even went last, guys. Come on.
Well, I'm still feeling pretty good. Do you want to see if there's anything else nearby?
Yeah, let's hunt some monsters.
Fine.
Fine.
Taking the time to investigate the area, you notice a suspiciously large cave a stone's throw away from the edge of the other side of the field. As you approach it, you can see the unmistakable markings of claw marks on the sides of the cave entrance, and from somewhere in the darkness within, you can hear the quiet, steady breathing of a rather large creature. As the party delves into the cave, you are quickly enveloped in darkness. You can make out the faint outline of the cave walls, and as such, you carefully tread further inward. After a short walk, you come upon a large chamber with a small hole in the ceiling from which dim daylight pours through. In the streams of daylight, you can clearly see a large black dragon sleeping in the center area. The source of the heavy breathing is now evident.
Ooh, I bet it's Rathalos.
I'm gonna sneak attack it.
What's new?
The rogue swiftly and silently approaches the large black dragon and stabs it in the throat. However, unlike so many times before, the weapon and the rogue's hand go right through the slumbering beast without dealing any damage. The large black dragon stirs awake, letting out a large, deafening roar. The angered black dragon unfurls its wings and leaps into the air, shattering the ceiling and flying through into the sky. Rocks crash down around the party as daylight now clearly pours in, illuminating everything. You watch as the large, angered dragon flies off in the direction of Sol Alberia. You quickly hear the sounds of acid breath raining down on screaming citizens.
Well, that wasn't supposed to happen.
We should head there before too much damage is done.
No, that thing is much too close to my senpai.
Oh, blast, my leads on the Syndicate live there.
Ooh, plot twist. I've got to write this down.
The party bolts from the cave, wasting no time. The party arrives back at the entrance of Sol Alberia, whereupon they see the large black dragon diving down into the city, spewing waves of caustic green acid onto buildings and roads. You watch as roofs melt and cave in. People run around in a blind panic. The black dragon swoops down again, catching two poor unfortunate souls in its claws, whereupon it tosses them into the air and then chomps down on them like a midday snack, swallowing them whole. Everyone roll initiative.
16.
15.
18.
4.
13,153.
Fatalis gets a 6. Alright, the rogue goes first, then Albert, the paladin, Norwin, the black dragon, and then finally Mim. Rogue, you're up first.
I cast magic missile!
As the rogue pulls out his magic tome, he unleashes several magical bolts that fly towards the black dragon. The black dragon spots the bolt, and with a mighty roar, uses his legendary action to cast a spell, specifically Shield. And as per the spell's rules, Shield nullifies any and all castings of magic missile.
Well, you know what, that's fair.
It is now Aldred's turn.
Is it melee range?
No, as I mentioned, it is currently flying. It is a few hundred feet off the ground at the moment.
But I don't have any ranged weapons.
That sounds like a you problem. So unless you plan to start hurtling insults at it, might I recommend doing something else on your turn?
Okay, fine. I guess I'll take the help action on Toast.
Alright, Paladin, you're up.
I cast super mass resistance on the party. That raises our strength, defense, and it heals us.
Your divine magic surges through you, and as it does, you feel the device Ilya gave you empower it further still. You cast a greatly improved version of mass resistance upon the party, buffing their strength, armor class, and granting healing over time. Norwin, you're up.
As a bonus action, I'd like to inspire myself and take a shot with my bow for 820 damage.
The black dragon eyes you all with contempt. It turns and flies down at you with blinding speed. Large waves of caustic green liquid spew forth at your party, coating the street in acid. Everyone make me a dexterity saving throw. Alright. The Paladin and Mim fail, taking 1,635 acid damage. The rest of the party takes half of that, except for the rogue, who dodges it all with evasion. The Black Dragon uses another legendary action and takes wing attack, bombarding the party with a blast of wind that knocks everyone prone. Mim, you are up.
Wait, is this not a dragon? It is much more dragon-like than that other challenger. I shout at the black dragon, "You there! Stop this at once!"
Alright, roll me persuasion.
Nat 20!
Oh boy. Your words are very compelling. Almost too much so. As Mim rebukes the fellow dragon, her words are not heard by the black dragon, but travel further still. A crack forms in the sky, and as it is torn open, the Gargantuan figure of Elysium, god of dragons himself, descends down from it. Heavenly light pours from the rift and basks the city of Sol Alberia in divine light. You take one look at Elysium and know he is angry. He lets out a soul-shaking roar. And although most of you can't understand Draconic, all of you understand that Elysium is incredibly mad, mostly at humanity in general, and is now here to oversee their purging personally.
How about we get out of here?
Oh, most definitely.
Yep, let's go do that.
I'm gone. I'm several towns over by now.
I'm just going to back away slowly.
As the party turns tail and run, Elysium begins charging up a blinding light. It builds and grows, quickly outshining the sun itself. For a few terrifying moments, everything is unnervingly quiet. You can't hear anything, not the angry black dragon, not the screaming people, not even the sound of your footsteps on the road beneath you. Then, like walking out of a movie theater in the middle of the day, Elysium unleashes an earth-shattering beam of light directly down at the earth below. Its light outshines the sun, enveloping everything in a cruel, indifferent, blinding light. You can feel the shockwave ripple through the ground below you as the mega laser collides with the ground, shattering the earth itself and shockwave outward. Everyone make me an athletics check to not trip as you run for your lives.
16.
16.
Nat 1.
18.
Nat 20,000. Well, hang on.
You good there, Rogue?
I don't think my rolls are supposed to be this high.
Oh, interesting. Anyway.
So you add your previous roll to the next roll, right?
No?
Oh.
We'll talk afterwards.
Okay.
The party flees valiantly, stopping for nothing and no one. Yet despite their best efforts, the glowing shockwave of blinding light continues to catch up with the party. Everything it touches is lost into a void of radiant energy that annihilates all. People are gone in a flash. Stone buildings are liquefied in an instant. The very ground itself ripples out like water under the force of the shockwave. Sol Alberia is quickly engulfed in an all-encompassing wave of purification as the castle disappears into the radiant void as well. The black dragon notices the shockwave all too late and is evaporated like water on a hot skillet. The party runs like there is no tomorrow, for if they fail, there won't be. Sadly, Aldred the fighter trips as he runs, causing him to crash into the road below him. He barely has time to stand up before the shockwave engulfs him, evaporating his very bones.
And despite their best efforts, the rest of the party also trip and become helplessly consumed by the blast and are destroyed in an instant, leaving Elysium to go on and continue the uncontested purge of humanity. The end!
That story, what's the word? Sucked! That story sucked!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to finally agree with the rogue. Our fighter died from tripping.
Yeah, what gives?
And my senpai, he might have died. TM, please reveal his fate to me.
That is a good question now, isn't it?
Oh, he's definitely dead. But, we still have Elysium on the rampage.
Indeed, and that will be one of many problems for next time.
To be continued.
Wait a minute. Weren't we supposed to be looking for the twins?
You were, but you decided to go on a rampant quest to fight off dragons and piss off the god of dragons himself, so I guess you could, maybe focus on saving the world before dealing with the twins?
Fair point.